Morning, everyone. How you doing? You doing okay? I know there's a lot going on, but there's something that we need to talk about, and we need to talk about it. And I would love to have comments from people who have an opposing opinion or people that are agreeing, because I think this is a very important thing to talk about. This could be the thing that brings both sides together in a way that should happen. What's going on right now with the Trump situation, Epstein files, Maxwell, Congress, the files, the tapes, a pardon, or whatever, this should be super concerning to MAGA supporters who are of the party of family values, the party of law and order, the party that didn't want deep state and lies and controversies with their leaders in their government, and the supporters that want to save the children, that talk about saving the children. Okay, so let's get on with this. The party of family values. We're going to start with that first. Does this describe your values? And what exactly are family values? What does it mean to you? What does family values mean to you? Are they personal values that you teach to your family? Do you do things according to a system rather than what's good for you? For example, if a wife is in a bad marriage and she has children, is she staying in that bad marriage for the children? Is that saving the children with family values? Are you a husband who is domineering to your wife and you won't let her have her own work or opinions, and she must follow you as those that did in the Middle Eastern time that the Bible was written, and some countries that still do, where the women were second class citizens? Is that part of the family value? I'm just curious. And if you have family values, doesn't this apply to those that, you socialize with in your family? Maybe you go to church with them. And what about those that you choose to represent you? If you choose someone to represent you, wouldn't you want someone that represents your family values? I mean, that's something you have to ask yourself. Because if you are a MAGA supporter, this is something you really need to think about. The party of saving the children. I hear we're going to save the children, saving the children from trans people who read books to them. Okay. They think that the trans people are indoctrinating their children so they can steal them. I, I still don't understand that. Saving the children from child trafficking. Where are the children? I hear MAGA supporters asking, where are those children? Biden, Pizzagate, adrenochrome, crazy stuff. We're going to save the children from being sex trafficked. Saving the children from sex changes at school. Our criminal king has said this in open forum with cameras present, that little boys are going to school boys and coming home little girls. This is not happening. No one forces a trans person to change. As a matter of fact, when they are going through the process of doing all of the hormones and the transdressing and their social circles, as they're going through that before anything is even surgically done. Doctors are pretty smart, and they're not telling people to do what they want to do. That's why the process is so long. It's not like, okay, Johnny, we'll see you later. And then you come home, hey, Lily, oh, you're so cute. But you need to get into some girls' clothes because you wore your boy clothes to school. Do you see how stupid that is? You're saving the children. Saving the children from science and history and an education that gives them critical thinking skills, and trying to suppress them from going to colleges and trying to stop colleges from teaching the things that humans should be learning. That's not saving the children. But anyway, that's what you're saving the children from. Indoctrination of a world power. Whatever. And yet you're indoctrinating them to be okay with what they're seeing from our criminal king and our legislators, so on and so forth. But let's keep going. Okay, so you're the party of saving the children. And we know that you don't like abortion. We know that. But women are dying because of that choice to save the children. Here's the problem with all of this saving the children that you need to redeem yourself with now. Because now, oh my God, there is never a solution to the mass school shootings. Never. I've never heard them. And when I was in school, we had fire drills, tornado drills, but we never had an active shooting drill. And kids now have to go through that. People in factories have to go through that. But still no legislation to stop it. We're just going to train you how to get through it. Because you know what? Who was it said, well, it's just a part of our country? I can't remember exactly who said that. Something they have to get over. The party of saving the children. You don't want to feed hungry children food that has been grown, produced, packaged, and shipped to little kids that are dying. Starvation. Not many people here in our country know what starvation is. They know what being hungry is. They know what going without a couple of meals are. But there's always a way to find a meal in this country. Hell, you don't even want to feed the children at school lunches or an extra little meal or a midday snack. They want to cut any kind of school feeding, which is when children should be eating to begin with. Okay? They learn better, they're more calm, they feel better when they've eaten. But you don't even want to feed our kids. You want to cut school lunches, you know, food accessibility programs for children and families that are struggling. You want to cut all of that. You want to cut the medical care of children. You're fine with that. You want to cut their special education in the school systems. If you've ever had autistic children or children with learning disabilities, they need extra, and they're going to cut it. They'd much rather you homeschool. And the problem with MAGA homeschooling is that you forget reality, science, history in its true form. I'm just saying. You can talk about the Civil War all you want, but we know what it was about. Teach it correctly. Teach what it was like back then when slavery, when black people were slaves, livestock. Just saying. MAGA, right now is your redeeming moment for saving the children and being actually a party of law and order and a party of family values. This is your redeeming moment because you're going to cover all three of them if you stand up right now and say, this is not right, instead of covering your eyes and going, okay, well, we like what's going on with the migrants being treated like animals. We're okay, maybe with the finances, even though inflation is getting worse. Don't put your head in the sand. MAGA was always against a deep state, okay, or making the DOJ some evil department. Right now, the DOJ is an evil, disgusting department. The Congress that says that they're for saving the children are trying to hide the Epstein files from you because Trump is involved. It's time for MAGA to redeem themselves as the family value party, as the law and order party, as the party of saving the children. These little girls, these victims aren't even being discussed. It's all about the cover up. Second of the DOJ goes and talks with Ghislaine Maxwell 2 times, and you know what it's for. She has been convicted of sex trafficking with underage children. Those women now, who were little girls then, testified against her. Their stories are real. They were little girls, hundreds of little girls. And these wealthy men, it makes me want to go take a shower thinking about exactly what took place. MAGA, this is your time to redeem yourself. You need to stand up. You need to get your representatives to go against what they're doing. Because if she gets a pardon and she goes to Congress, she can lie. She already has. Not once has our criminal king said, these poor children. You know why? Because those poor children were his release, his playtime, his toys. You all fell for Trump, and I never could understand why. I just never could. He's a self proclaimed predator. He has said things in interviews and in depositions that should make you think, God, what a scuzzy person that is. Because he is. He's disgusting. This is your time to redeem yourself and stand up against the deep state, a corrupt DOJ, and a corrupt criminal king who is a predator, a liable sexual assaulter slash rapist. Not everything is fake. Not everything is a hoax. Not everything has been rigged. Not everything is a witch hunt. That's what you've been led to believe. And I just don't understand how. I don't care if you're just worried about the economic situation. Boy, it's looking good now, isn't it? We are not in good standings with other countries. And I understand that the isolationists don't care about that. But you know what? You need to move forward. Use Teflon skillets. Store your cast iron away. Okay? Use your electric canner, but keep your propane one in the side. Drive your gasoline car, but look into alternatives for energy, even for yourself. Admit that you were wrong because you said you wanted to save the children. Stand up for those little girls, those women who went through that. Because what they're playing right now is wrong. And I am very, very perturbed over it. Mm-mm. If you do not redeem yourself as someone with family values, someone who cares about the children, someone who doesn't want a deep state administration, this is your time to redeem yourself. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance.